I am Captain Spawn, and this is day 290 of Spawn Year. When all else fails, the name of the game with Spawn is disturbing. Even if I don't have the slightest inkling of what I'm looking at, these stories believe they're delivering the goods as long as I get my monthly dosage of yeesh. It's, hypothetically, Weird Al's Do I Creep You Out, played on a grand scale. And sure, some people live for that eesh feeling. They want to be pushed beyond their limits to prove that no matter how disgusting or violent or hideous the image, they can handle anything. But the fatal flaw in trying to create that experience for a reader on a month-to-month basis is desensitization. It doesn't make any difference how disturbing the imagery is if there's no imagination behind it. Show a person a photo of a charred, dismembered, decomposing corpse often enough and it becomes routine. I think that's why the dial in the carnage meter was turned to the ludicrous setting in Curse of the Spawn. The readership isn't shocked by the level of violence we used to use, so naturally the answer is to simply give them a lot more. No. Creating that unnerved feeling in a reader or viewer is about subverting expectations. Make me comfortable, make me think I know what's coming, make me say, you can't fool me, I know where you're going with this. And then show me the last thing on earth I ever would expect. And don't make it more disembodied limbs or mangled faces if that's what you've been feeding me day after day. Change up the buffet or I'll want to try another restaurant. Make it weird, bizarre. Throw a couple things together that don't go together. Take a cue from Sid from Toy Story or Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka. I have no idea what in the world is going on in this comic right now, but David Hine and Philip Tam are on the right track in that regard. But I have to say these comics still don't hold a candle to what Spawn Year has thrown at me in terms of sheer unsettling weirdness. I couldn't sleep last night. Who does that to a sweet and unsuspecting teddy bear? I don't know what's worse, the original unforgettable splash page of Kincaid strung up in Sam and Twitch's office, or this. I should use my powers and blink it into nothingness, or throw it in the trash can and hope it disappears along with the comics I discard, but I can't stop looking at it. That's the power of real surprise. This new creative team has discovered an incredibly original, inspired way of telling a story through sequential comic art. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? Because this is gonna blow your mind. They tell the story through pictures and dialogue. These last two issues, there hasn't been a single narration box spoon-feeding a message or giving unnecessary prattling internal monologue. So far, it's all still a bunch of nutty, confusing stuff happening, but hey, it's mostly new stuff. Yeah, this is the new stuff. And it's confident enough to present the story such as it is, and to let me use my own brain to try to decipher it, rather than telling me what I'm supposed to take from it. These are very quick, uncumbersome reads, and I really appreciate that. This is the approach that always would have best served this series. If the art matters more than the story, as McFarlane once confirmed in no uncertain terms in the letters pages, why gum up the main attraction with pointless words? The issue opens with Chris's putrefied face greeting the reader on the inside cover, which is unusual because that's usually where the credits go. It's a cool idea. Again, anything to keep the reader off balance, but it is odd that the printed in Canada label still has to be on that page. Takes me out of the fiction somehow. Anyway, more of the details are starting to fall into place as we learn that the Green World Plant Lady and the Man of Miracles are one and the same. And as he puts it to Chris, his mother simply sees what she wants to see. I'm curious to learn if he's actually part of the Green World or just impersonating it, though I can't imagine why he'd do that. It's not like any human would know the Green World from the Loch Ness Monster, who is, according to the news in this issue, apparently one of the many signs of the apocalypse. But considering issue 150 acted like I've seen the Man of Miracles before when I hadn't, for all I know, the narrative thinks I know all about this guy and I'll be totally in the dark forever. If the Man of Miracles really is Mother Earth, maybe that MOM acronym is intentional. By page 3, I already have a basket of questions. Does Chris's mom see what she wants to because she's delusional, or because mom makes her that way? If mom can will himself anywhere, why not just teleport with Chris to his house before she killed herself? Why warn him and make him go there himself to prevent her death, risking her possibly killing herself in that bathtub, especially since bringing him back was his promise? Was it some sort of test or something? And how does getting to his mother before she offs herself have anything to do with the fate of humanity? Turns out his big important purpose is about rescuing Spawn, but in 150, Mom clearly thought the thing of most paramount importance was Chris saving his mother, and for some reason, he had to do that alone. Here, Mom shows up precisely when Chris gets there. For all his mother knows, the Man of Miracles brought him there. I don't get it. It reads like Hine made up a really bizarre scenario to hook the reader and then had no plan for what to do with it, so he wrote himself out of it ASAP. I'm hoping some logic for Mom's actions in Chris's Spawn suit and really everything else present themselves soon. I'm starting to lose patience with all of this pretty fast. Keeping me guessing is one thing, but turning off all the lights and handing me a flashlight with flaky batteries is quite another. Now certainly all this weirdness around this end of the world scenario could have something to do with the rules of magic changing or something, but give me some hint of that if that's what's going on. Mom sends Chris to the pit to rescue Spawn and has to get through Billy Kincaid's twisted carnival, which turns out to be pretty easy. Chris's cape gruesomely impales Kincaid through the head, and we get another horrifying Kincaid corpse scene, this time without so much as an ounce of poetic justice. There's nothing shocking here, exactly the sort of thing all that Curse of the Spawn prepared me for. Sam and Twitch conveniently stumble upon all of this after they stand around baffled by a plague of mutant toads. It is kind of nice to get some of this through the eyes of some regular people, but it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Chris has action figures of Sam and Twitch just before his costume butchers Kincaid, which foreshadows their appearance by a single panel, and I'm assuming that's indicating some sort of demonic or divine intervention or something. I still don't get where those action figures came from, and if they were somehow changed by supernatural means to depict our main players, or if somehow a toy store had Sam and Twitch action figures, along with Bulgy and Violator. So Chris, Sam, and Twitch descend into the pit. Spawn recognizes Chris for some reason, and just his being there jogs Spawn's memory of something I never knew about, and he realizes there is more to him than Al Simmons, as Maman alluded to last issue. I am Legion! Oh man, did I have to get flashbacks to that movie? Oh, you are you? So, Spawn, when did this happen? What is happening in this book? This thing reads like this convoluted mess drove some poor writer nuts and he's just spewing nonsense out on the page. I mean, I saw that happen to Hogwin, but this guy's only been on the book 3 issues. God, is that all it takes? Signed, Captain Spawn.